Hello there. How's everybody doing on this fine Thursday evening? Welcome to the Adventure Thursday stream for the week. We're starting a new playthrough today. Times Picayune, June 24th, 1993. Nice reference there. Nice Gabriel Knight reference. Alright, Thursday afternoon. Time for a new adventure game playthrough. Where we're going to be starting... Well, that was a GK1 bookshop music. Yeah, well, you know. But not many other people would get the reference, I don't think, so. Yeah, we're starting Lamplight City today, which is a game by Grundislav Games. I've not played it before. This is a blind playthrough, so I may get very stuck, and I may fail horribly. I think that's part of the point. So you apply for some jobs today, nice. Sent an application for Hypixel Studios as a team member. That's also nice. Awesome. Also, hello, Kristen. Welcome. I think you might like this game, Kristen. It has a lot of Gabriel Knight 1 influences on it, and you'll be able to tell, right, like, as soon as I get into like the dialogue and all stuff like that, it's very Gabriel Knighty, as like a sort of a major influence, and yeah, I'm excited to play it myself because I just don't know anything. Don't know if I saw it on Twitter. You finally tracked down a Monkey Island reference in Flight of the Amazon Queen. I actually did see that, yeah. I did see that. Me and Penny Parker of Snapcube have your favorite pre-stream music. Nice. I just search up something random and then I'm like, right, put that song on, grab a drink, make sure I'm set up, and then I'm ready to go. Okay. All right then. And hey, Karoshi Momo, how are you doing? Let's get Lamplight City started. I need to. All right, let's just boot it up. Two big influences of Lamplight City are Gabriel Knight and the Lost Files of Sherlock Holmes. I don't know if I have the Lost Files of Sherlock Holmes. I have a couple of Sherlock Holmes games. Hold on, let me just have a quick look at my Steam. Are those the FMV ones? No, the FMV ones are Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective. Ah. Oh, Serrated Scalpel and... Yeah, I have heard of those. Yeah, I haven't played them, but I've heard of them. I've got Consulting Detective on Steam, so I might do something on that at some point. All right, let us boot up Lamplight City. Oh, here we go. Adventure Thursday setting, and then I think it should appear shortly. Aha! Here we go. Lamplight City. I've already like set everything up to go, like subtitles are on and everything like that. So yeah, it's quite steampunk actually. Yeah, it's like a sort of alternate history steampunk setting, and yeah, I believe there's like a sort of another game in the works which is set in the same universe, but it's kind of like a more of a western. So my overlay thing looks amazing. Thank you. I got this commissioned recently, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. So if you want to see more art from the artist, his name is Kincubus, and he does all sorts of cool arty things. There's like a link below in the FAQs, I believe, so you can find his work there. And yeah, 2015 Graham sort of King Graham style as well. All right, let's get going. Let's get going on this. That's a carriage, right there. No, not like that, Kristen. It's oh, it's in the FAQs. You didn't hear it right. It's KII Incubus, I think. Alright, so... Bill, wake up! The carriage is on fire! Let's do that!
Bill, wake up! The carriage is on fire!
That's only funny when I do it to you.
What's the matter? Have a rough night?
Bit too much Bollingworth ale is all. That stuff really creeps up on you.
Sorry I couldn't join you, but I was long overdue for a quiet night in with Addie.
That's fine. There'll be plenty of other opportunities. Hell, maybe Adelaide can even join us. It's been ages since she last drank me under the table.
Afraid she mostly sticks to tea these days.
Miles, what exactly is it we're
he's
looking
drinking
into?
juice.
I may have dozed off during the briefing.
You sleep through the briefings?
You sleep through the briefings?
Bollingworth is a
Sure,
great name.
It's really not that difficult. Snelling's monotonous drone works better than Cold Tit's emulsified soporific.
Very
Soporific.
Anyway, it's a burglary at the Hambrook Flower Shop.
A burglary, eh? How dull. At least
I'm
we'll
sure
have
things
enough
will get
time to
less
a drink
dull.
Afterwards.
You seem awfully certain of that.
I am. In fact, I'd bet the devil my head that we're done within the hour.
Well, the devil's gonna be disappointed
2D
that his winnings
LNOR.
are so meager.
My god. My cat's on my lap and she keeps whipping the desk with the tail.
Ah, we've arrived. After you, Bill.
Have I seen the 2013 film Prisoners? I don't believe I have. The city of New Britannia, borough of Cholmondeley, 1844. All right.
Thank you. Keep the change.
And so, our night of excitement begins.
You, more than
Ooh.
anyone else, should know that there's rarely a dull night in Chumley.
Chumley.
I have a feeling tonight
Yeah,
will
it's
be
pronounced
the
Chumley.
exception. Until
Hello,
we
you
get
back.
to the pub, that is.
Keep your mind on the case, Bill. Now let's get a move on.
All right. Left click to interact with objects. This ain't my first rodeo, Lamplight City.
Looks like they've had some trouble with vandalism.
Pretty much every business in this part of town has.
Certainly looks cozy in there.
Plants have a nice way of doing that.
It's a nice glow from the windows, yeah.
That reminds me. I should pick up a bouquet for Addie when we're done here.
Seems like you've been spending more time with me than with her lately. I sure hope she's not the jealous type.
Trash can.
Fordham, what are you doing?
Look
I
at
was
the
gonna check
trash.
inside this trash can for clues.
Miles, in the 15 years we've been partners, how many times have you found something inside a trash can that wasn't...
Well, you never know.
Fair point. Glad this thing is lit. This isn't really the type of place I'd prefer to be at this time of night.
Don't worry,
Yeah, there's a guy
Miles.
having a...
I've got your back.
doing something over there. HMS.
Can't believe that thing made it all the way across the Atlantic in less than a week.
Don't
Blimps.
scoff at the future, Miles. Pretty soon, we'll all be riding those things to work.
Are you sure?
Especially considering Prince Harold is their big celebrity passenger.
Hold on, I think my cat wants to leave the room now. This always happens, Rosie. You hear me start talking, and then as soon as I'm not paying 100% attention to you, she's like, alright, then I'm leaving. Oh, okay. Let's go in the shop.
Come on, Bill.
Come on, Bill, let's go. Ooh. Look at all these flowers.
Charming little place, isn't it?
It is. I was
Charming,
thinking that.
but empty. We need to find the owner.
Always so to the point, Fordham. If ever there was a better time to stop and smell the flowers.
I think I'll leave that to you, Bill.
With my allergies, hardly.
Why did you suggest it then?
Not too many left. Seems business isn't so bad around here.
Well, you know what they say. There are only 3 certainties in life. Death, taxes, and people taking advantage of sales.
Fair enough.
These prices are pretty reasonable. The place I go in Worcester's clearly robbing me blind.
If you think those are bad, don't go near the flower shops in Lyon.
This is quite the selection. Come over here and take a whiff, Bill.
Sure, if you don't mind me getting snot all over your coat.
Oh, no, not the Myers case all over again. On second thought, you can just stay over there.
Come on, Bill.
Plants hanging on hooks. A nice space-saving method.
I'd probably bang my head against them constantly if I had them in my apartment.
Okay, Bill. I need you to leave the negativity behind for a second.
Mostly a bunch of fertilizer and growth tonics.
Growth tonics, eh?
Plant growth tonics, Bill.
Of course. I knew that.
Come on, Bill. All right, let's just ring the bell.
Be right there.
Hello.
Oh, hello, gentlemen. I must say you caught me by surprise. I was preparing to close soon.
Well, we're investigating
May
something,
I
aren't
help
we?
you find anything? The flowers in the center display are half price this week, and I have a special on chrysanthemums today. Or perhaps a custom bouquet for the special ladies in your lives?
Hmm.
I have no need myself, but maybe Adelaide would appreciate a little something. Eh, Miles? Those peonies in the corner look nice.
I'm afraid we're not here as customers tonight, ma'am.
She's hiding
I'd like to have a
something.
word
Maybe,
with the
yeah.
proprietor. Is he in?
I see. I am Cecilia Handbook, and this is my shop. What can I do for you, gentlemen?
I'm Detective Miles Fordham, and this is my partner, William Legere. We received a report of a burglary at your store.
A report? From whom?
Well,
I
this
never
is curious.
contacted the police before, and I didn't this time, either.
It was made anonymously.
I made a bit of an
But are you
assumption there,
saying this
didn't he?
isn't the first time it's happened?
Correct. It's happened 3 times.
How
But
curious.
considering the police hardly care about the daily muggings and vandalisms around here, I didn't think they would be interested in something so trivial.
Well, we're here now, and we'll do all we can to help you.
We'll have to see about that.
If you wouldn't mind, Mrs. Handbrook, I'd like
Ooh.
to ask you a few questions.
Are you going to get into the...
Very well, detective.
Ah! This is the screen that's really inspired by Gabriel Knight 1. Like, you can really see the influence here. Because Gabriel Knight 1 does this exact same thing with the black background and the portraits. And the blue text. Like, literally exactly the same. So this is great.
Could you give me the details concerning the burglaries?
About 3 weeks ago on Monday, I noticed that my order of Easter lilies was missing. At first, I thought nothing of it. Sometimes certain types of flowers are unavailable or arrive in poor condition. These things happen. Then 2 weeks ago on Wednesday, it happened again. But this time, I noticed something rather odd.
Go on.
When I opened the shop, there were 6 crowns and 10 shillings on the counter. That's exactly the cost of 2 orders of lilies.
Curious.
Last Friday, it happened yet again. The lilies were missing, and there was payment for 1 order on the counter. I believe that someone has been breaking into my shop after hours, taking the lilies, and leaving money behind.
Hey, is that really, I mean, it's not the worst thing, I suppose, but kind of inconvenient. Like, they can't just pay for things at inopportune times. Interesting.
Have you noticed any suspicious characters lurking around?
Detective Fordham, this is Chumley. You can't throw a stone without hitting a suspicious character. And if
Are you a
noticed
suspicious
my window,
character?
You'd be aware that stones get thrown around quite a bit in this neighborhood. If you're looking for trouble, you're far more likely to find it out there than in here.
I meant if you'd seen anyone out of the ordinary near your shop.
Only the 2 men from the police who entered it tonight. That is most definitely
Okay.
out of the ordinary.
Ma'am, I'm gonna need to have you be a little bit more cooperative right now.
Have you found any evidence of a break-in?
No, the front door is always locked. My assistant Trevor and I are the only ones with the key.
Well, let me speak to
Are there
Trevor
any other
then.
points of access to the building?
The upstairs windows, I suppose, but I make sure to keep them locked, and neither of them have been broken.
Would you allow us to have a look upstairs?
Is that really necessary?
Yes.
I was just about to close up the shop.
It won't take but a moment.
Fine, I suppose you may, but please, don't dally too long.
I think this is like a sort of its own universe, Kristen. Like, it's kind of like its own thing. I don't think these are real places at all. It might like be some inspiration, but I don't know.
So this burglar has been paying for the stolen goods?
That would appear to be the case, yes. I really don't think this could even be considered a crime. That's one of the reasons I didn't bother reporting it to the police.
Yeah.
And the other reasons?
Oh, I think I've
New
already
Britannia
made
is alt
those
history New
quite
Orleans.
clear,
Okay.
Detective.
You mentioned your assistant has the other shop key. What can you tell me about him?
His name is Trevor Hastings, and he has been working for me for the past 10 years.
Do
Okay.
you trust him?
Implicitly. I've known him for ages, and he has been my full-time assistant since shortly after my husband died. You're not
Okay.
suggesting he had anything to do with
Well,
this,
I'm
are you?
just trying to get a
Not at
grasp
all.
of the whole
I would
situation.
like to speak with him, though. Where might I find him?
It's Friday, so he should be on his way back from the docks right now. He'll be bringing my flower order
Yeah,
within
very
the hour.
curious, isn't it?
Good. We'll meet him here then, if that's all right with you.
I suppose I don't really have much of a choice, do I?
Have you been in business long?
Yes, I opened
He
this
did
shop
it.
30 years ago.
He's gonna be dead when you
along
find
with
him.
my late
Yeah, you might be
husband,
right.
David. But the past 10 years, I've been running things on my own.
Don't you feel unsafe being here by yourself so late into the night?
Detective, when you've lived in this part of town as long as I have, it takes quite a lot to scare you.
I think that's all the information I need for now.
All right, Detective.
Okay. I guess the case book. Ooh. Honor among thieves? Find a point of entry upstairs. Wait for Trevor Hastings and speak to... Oh, both are objectives, really, I suppose. Clues, missing Lily's points of entry. Suspects, none. Documents, none. Okay. I see.
Interesting choice of decor in here.
Yeah, it looks...
Perhaps it wasn't always used as a storeroom, although I can understand why it would have been converted.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
suppose
it
that
is
makes
rather
sense.
drafty in here.
Let's see. Rather drafty,
Rather
eh?
distinguished-looking gentleman.
Interesting.
Reminds me of Captain Snelling, if he ever smiled.
A young lady. Perhaps a relation of Mrs. Hanbrook?
Perhaps a younger
I can see
version.
the resemblance. Sort of.
I'm sorry to hear that, Tenwin. Let's see.
This provides a means of escape from the top floor, or access to this window from the ground. The window lat.
It's securely locked. Right.
Lamplight City, in all her glory. Interesting. There's a gap between the window and the frame here. No wonder it's so drafty in this room.
Probably you could slip some kind of
Wonder.
tool in
What are
there
you thinking, Fordham?
and hook that up.
That it's time for an experiment. I'm going to need a tool, however. Something long and thin should do the trick.
Shouldn't be too hard to find something like that around here.
Yeah, someone might be using a hook to open that latch. That's what I was thinking. Okay. Look at these crates.
Unmarked, but if the smell is anything to go by, this is where the flowers are stored when delivered.
I'll keep my distance then.
Seems to be the broken pot storage area.
Why
Okay.
not just throw them away, I wonder?
It's likely they're going to be repaired. I noticed some faint cracks in some of the pots downstairs.
Okay. What's this device?
I've seen this type of device before. It's a special container for growing plants. Specific temperature and water conditions can be adjusted. Seems to be empty right now, though. And judging by the dust, it hasn't been used in a long time, if ever.
It seems Mrs. Hanbrook isn't too fond of steam tech, or just doesn't understand it.
I don't think this window
It's a
will
little bit
serve as
Gabriel
a viable
Knighty,
means of
and
entry.
good God, Tenwin.
It's a nice view, though. You can hardly see the vomit and manure piles on the street from up here.
It's your boy, Skinny Penis. Nice dogman. Jesus. Oh, okay.
I would imagine that keeping a consistent temperature in here is important for the flowers.
But that's a
When do you
draft.
suppose this contraption was last serviced?
Hard to say. Definitely not recently, if the dust buildup is any indication.
And there's a painting up here.
A pastoral landscape. Definitely nowhere near here.
I've never much understood art, but it would be nice to see a place like that in person.
Okay, Bill. Right. He's even going to find something along... He's going to stand in his spot. Hotspot icons will change when new interactions are available. I see.
I have a few more questions for you, Mrs. Hanbrook.
Very well, Detective. If it will help you conclude your investigation faster.
Mrs. Hanbrook, were you aware that there's a gap in the frame of the small upstairs window?
Is there? I only go up there to check that the window is locked. I've never noticed a gap. Are you suggesting that's how the burglar is entering the store?
It may well
It's a
be.
distinct possibility, but I have yet to figure out exactly how.
Well, I trust you'll come to a satisfactory conclusion, Detective.
I just need something
I think
long
that's
and
all the
thin.
information I need for now.
All right, Detective.
Okay. Ooh. I wonder. Can I...
Ah, this hook.
That's
is
what I was
exactly
thinking.
What I need. Mrs. Hanbrook, may I borrow this hook for a few minutes? It's crucial to our investigation.
Is that so?
Yes, I promise. I'll put it back as soon as I'm done.
Please do, Detective.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Just... Right. Do I need to go upstairs to try it or outside? I would assume outside is probably... Oh, hey, Grunderslav, how you doing? Thanks for... Yeah, no problem. I wanted to play this for a while. Dev here, hide. How do I get... Can I climb this somehow? I'm trying to think about where the window would be in relation to the shop. You know, I'll go upstairs first and see if I can try it that way. Yeah, I was thinking inside might make more sense. I just wanted to see if there was a way from outside. Ring the bell a bunch. I should try that actually. Though I wonder if that does, if she gets annoyed at me. Although I don't want it to get too annoyed at me. I'm not sure what would happen. Inventory items. How do I do that? Is that? It's okay to fail. Right. Oh, I can open that with right click. Right. She's already annoyed. And also, hey Joe, how are you doing? All right then. I'm just going to annoy you now, lady. I hope that's okay.
Yes, I'm right here. There's really no need to ring that bell when I'm standing here.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if we can just do a save. Is there a way to save? Hold on. Oh, like that. Ding. There we go.
It was funny the first time, Detective, but now it's starting to wear thin.
Well, how? Bill's loving it. I don't think you laughed the first time though, so you know what? I'm gonna try again.
Detective, please.
Excuse me. Are you here?
Ah!
Okay.
Had your fun, Fordham. Best to knock it off and get back to business.
God. Okay. I will leave you alone. I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness.
Good. Bill, it's time for our experiment.
And what is this experiment going to be exactly?
Simple. I'm going to see if this hook can get me inside the
It has
shop.
the same energy as trying to pick up a heavy object multiple times over and over.
Rather dark out here.
In Seven Max Hit the
Step
Road.
there. This experiment of yours isn't worth a broken neck.
I'll be fine. Now then, could you please close and lock the window, Bill?
Lock me out, Bill. Ooh, ooh. Ooh. Get a load of this.
Well, I'd say this is fairly incontrovertible proof that the building can easily be broken into without arousing suspicion.
Where'd you learn how to do that anyway?
You taught me, remember?
Nah.
The
Are you sure it was me?
Positive. We were a few pints in at the Angel about 5 years ago, and you decided I should learn how to pick locks.
What else have I taught you how to do while drunk?
That would be telling.
I like Bill. So let's right. Experiment results. Okay. Well, we've discovered that at least. Oh, hello.
Ah, Trevor.
Evening, Cecilia. I've got the order ready to bring in.
Trevor, these are Detectives Fordham and Leger. They say there's been a report about the burglaries, and they're here investigating.
I only did it because I think it's been going on too long.
I'm sorry, what?
As much as you want to, we can't handle this ourselves.
We can discuss the matter later. In the meantime, the detective would like a word with you.
I'll be needing to bring in the flowers first, if that's all right. Otherwise, some hooligan's likely to run off with them.
My partner will keep an eye on your flowers. Bill, would you mind?
Ah, the glamour of police work.
Alright, see you, Bill. Oh, goddamn flowers.
Now, Mr. Hastings, if I could ask you a few questions?
Go on, then.
Alright.
What can you tell me about the recent burglaries?
I wish Cecilia had contacted you lots sooner. She's a damn fine woman. But sometimes I think she'd rather jump in a rose bush than ask for help. Had to take matters into my own hands. This needs taken care of, and we can't do it on our own, as much as Cecilia would like to. Anyhow, alls I know is someone's been making off with some flowers and leaving money behind. No idea who it could be, how they're getting in, or why they even bother paying.
It's certainly
In my
strange.
day, if you robbed a place, you did it the right way. It's a sad state of affairs when even burglars.
The guy's
don't do
mad
their
that burglars
jobs.
aren't actually robbing him.
Do you have much experience with burglary, Mr. Hastings?
Now, I never said that, Detective.
Have you noticed anyone or anything suspicious?
Trevor,
around
like I
here
said too
recently?
much.
Nothing but the usual roughnecks, ragamuffins, and drunkards. Like I said, it's a real mystery.
Why does Ledger sound like a name someone would insist on using a hard G on just to annoy you? I know. Okay.
Could you walk me through the process of your deliveries?
Of course, there's no great science to it. On Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons, Cecilia gives
Okay.
me her list of flowers to pick up from the wholesalers. I head over to Gascone around sunset when they get their shipment, and I give them her order. They load up the crate, I pay for it, and then I lug it back here.
How long does that take?
Between moving the crate and getting it across the river on the ferry, a couple of hours. Usually the store's closed by then, so I use my key to get in and leave the crate inside for Cecilia to open in the morning. That's all there is to it. Told you it wasn't very complicated.
Do you ever leave the crate unattended during that time?
No, sir. Never more than a minute. I may be old, but I got good eyes. I'd see if there were anything amiss. Besides that, I check to make sure the crate is still sealed when I drop it off. I'm not about to let Cecilia down by being careless.
Okay. So I'm something that I'm kind of gathering from this is that the people who know what stock is being picked up are obviously Cecilia, obviously Trevor, but also someone at the place where he picks them up. So I think we got some questions to ask around there as well. So you know what? Tell me about yourself.
How long have you been working for Mrs. Hanbrook?
Been about 10 years now, I reckon.
What
I used
can
to
you
help
tell
with
me about
deliveries now
voodoo?
And then when it was her and David, her husband. But after he passed, she offered to make me her assistant. Unfortunate way to get it, but I needed the work. Used to be I had a job at one of the airship yards, but they let me go after I was injured by one of those newfangled steam machines.
Those damn
So
steam
the offer
machines.
came at a good time. Besides that, Cecilia needed looking after, even though she'd never admit it. If I'm being honest, we're both getting a bit long in the tooth. Not sure how much longer we'll be keeping this up, but as long as I'm upright and breathing, I'll be bringing these crates along, even if it is murder on my back.
I admire your work ethic.
I've got a job to do. Not enough people these days seem to respect that.
Thanks for your time, Mr. Hastings. I'll let you get back to work.
Appreciate it, Detective. If you don't mind, Detective, I still need to check the crate before I bring it in.
Of course. Thank you again for your help.
Okay.
Learn anything?
Possibly. I may have an idea.
Ah, you're being cryptic. That's always a good sign.
Always.
But if you've got a plan, let's talk about it.
Can I put this back? I thought it would be a good idea to put that back.
Oh, thank you, Detective. That's quite decent of you.
I know I kept ringing the bell, but... Oh, look at that! I got an achievement for that. I got an achievement for returning the hook. Nice. Can I ask her anything else?
I'll let you know if I have any more questions, Mrs. Hanbrook.
Got some good boy points.
Ah, yes, I'm sure you will.
The guy who voices the player character really sounds like the main character from Dark Corners of the Earth. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've played Dark Corners of the Earth, so I can't remember if I can even verify what his voice sounds like, so I can't verify that. All right, let's have a look at my case book. Okay, so experiments of results, missing values. Ask Bill about surveillance. Oh, okay, that's my...
Got a minute, Bill?
For you, Miles, I've got 5.
Nice. Oh, I can ask him about a whole bunch of things.
I've heard of honor among thieves, but have you ever known a thief to pay for stolen goods?
Perhaps conducting normal business is just too boring for him. Do you think he might be doing it for the thrill?
There could be any number of reasons. The best way to find out is to catch the culprit and ask him ourselves.
Yeah, Bill's quite nice. Do you know what Cabrison Call means?
You ever miss living out here, Bill?
About as much as you missed stepping in that pile of horseshit last week.
I was distracted by that story you were telling me about your sister. How's she doing out west, anyway?
Well, she's not in the chum, so fantastic. Living here was about as fun as wearing a vest made of meat to a dogfight. I'm glad we
Out
both
west,
managed
eh?
to get out. Oh, and by the way, Miles, you didn't do such a great job of cleaning.
I wonder if
your
that's related
shoes.
to the upcoming
That
Rosewater
would
game.
explain all the funny looks I've been getting. Still feeling rough, Bill?
Yes, but I'll feel better once this case is finished and we can go down to the Angel for a pint or four.
Hair of the dog?
No better medicine.
It does sound a little bit suspicious, doesn't it, Dinwiddie?
When's the last time you took any time off?
That's a good question. What year is this again?
I think we've both been working a bit too much lately. Addie's been wanting to go visit her mother in Dixie. Maybe we can all go.
That sounds nice, but I wouldn't want to be a third wheel on a visit to your in-laws. Unless... Would Adelaide's brother be there by any chance?
You're incorrigible, Bill.
It's one of my finer qualities.
Got any opinions on the upcoming election?
I'll just be glad when it's all over. Seems like the last few months have been nothing but people giving opinions and telling me what to do.
It
without
sounds like
knowing
Bill
peace.
might be
I know what you mean. I already
Big
saw
either.
some kids
Nice.
putting up Atwood posters down my street.
I already drew mustaches in all the ones on my street.
Handlebar?
Yeah, you know me too well.
I always thought of Atwood as more of a Van Dyke type of man myself.
I can see that. Yeah. Well, there's something to do tomorrow.
I can ask him loads of things about himself.
You enjoying this weather? It's a
Oh,
nice
okay, that's not
evening
the
for it,
weather.
Not too
Nice.
hot. I find a bit of fresh air always helps clear out the mental cobwebs.
It's just too bad the air in the chum is about as fresh as a week-old corpse. At any rate, it'll be winter before you know it. The whole city will be shut down, and we'll be digging bodies out from under the snowbanks.
Always something to look forward to. The ferry ride over was surprisingly uneventful, don't you think?
I know. It doesn't really feel like a visit to the chum without seeing at least one fist fight.
I was hoping
Oh,
for
well.
a fist fight.
There's always the ride back.
Alright, we're out of himself conversations.
What's your impression of dear old Mrs. Hanbrook?
Hey, 50,000
Oh,
Eyes, how you doing?
Good old-fashioned, tough-as-nails Chumley woman. Reminds me of my mother.
Your mother was never quite so
I'll ask
stubborn.
about surveillance
Why
in
do
a
you
moment.
suppose
I'm
she's
going
so
through the
reluctant to
dialogue.
accept our help.
It's a chum thing, Miles. You wouldn't understand.
Any thoughts on Mrs. Hanbrook's assistant, Trevor?
Yes, I feel sorry for him.
Why? He seems to enjoy his work.
Nah, it's not that. He's obviously smitten with Mrs. Hanbrook, but she won't give him the
I
time.
kind of got that impression as well, actually.
You only saw him for a few moments. How in the ether did you get that impression?
The way he looked at her, the way he spoke when he confessed to contacting the police. Shall I go on?
No, that's fine. I see what you mean.
Really, Miles? You'd be surprised what you can learn from people if you just look at them.
Why bother doing that when I've got you to do it for me?
Alright, surveillance.
Right. Based on what we've been told in our experiment, I can only conclude that our burglar is using the upstairs window to get into the shop.
So, what do you propose we do about it?
It's happened repeatedly over the past 3 weeks, on one of the delivery nights. Since it has yet to occur this week, and today is Friday, logic dictates it should be tonight.
Okay.
So we settle in and wait to see if the burglar returns? Catch him in the act?
Exactly. It's our best chance of solving this before the trail goes cold.
I was really looking forward to getting that drink at the Angel tonight, too.
I know, but it's
No
as
drinks
said
for you,
yourself,
Bill. I'm sorry.
There'll be plenty of other opportunities. Besides, forbearance is good for the soul.
Spoken like someone who truly has no idea how to have any fun.
I'm sure I'll get the hang of it one of these days, especially with your expert tutelage.
Okay, let's go have a chat with Mrs. Hanbrook. I'm sure she'll be delighted to know.
Yeah,
we're
she's gonna
spending
love
the
it.
night.
Okay.
Damn, I forgot to bring my deck of cards again.
We're just gonna hide behind the
At
boxes.
least it's quite
All
light
right.
up here. I'm surprised we didn't go deaf after the last time we did this.
What?
I said, oh, right. Your sense of humor remains on point.
Miles, have you ever considered leaving all this behind?
What, you mean quitting the force?
The force, the city, going off and seeing what else is out
I
there.
wouldn't say he's weird
No?
looking.
I'd miss it too much. Wouldn't you?
I was thinking I might visit Harley out west. She makes it sound like a dream in her letters.
Holly.
Wide open spaces, fresh air. I know I'm a city boy and would probably miss New Britannia's filth and squalor after
Let me
a
look this
week,
up.
but
You should do it. A change of scenery never hurt
Rose.
anyone.
Eh.
Plus, it's much easier for you than it is for me. I've got a family to consider, after all.
right.
Oh, no, I didn't mean it like that, Bill. It's just
Shh. I think I heard something.
Something's happening. Oh! Oh!
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Oh, god damn it, Bill.
Stop! Police!
Damn it. He's got up the fire escape. We can corner him on the roof. Stay close and keep me covered.
I just looked up the... Bill, your hat! No, his hat! Take his hat! No!
Bill!
Stay back, officer. Got a knife. Ready your pistol for him.
But you're too close.
I trust you, Miles. Your pistol, now! There's really no need for this, officer. I respect your desire to uphold justice. Mine is more important. If you let me go, I won't come back. And we can all forget this ever happened. Don't listen to this lunatic, Miles. Take your shot before things get worse.
Ooh. Ooh. God damn it. Okay. Shoot. Shoot him? Do we shoot him or reason? Okay. Got 2 for shoot, 1 for reason. It's up to you guys. I'm letting you, I'll let you, make my shoot. Okay, we're shooting then.
No!
God damn it! We shot Bill!
Oh, God.
You guys, why did you...
I am so sorry, my friend. I am so sorry.
You did this! You did this, chat! This is your fault! My god. I get the impression he might have been stabbed if we try to reason with the burglar anyway. Yeah.
Miles, wake up! Your house is on fire!
Huh? What?
You see, I told you it was funnier when I did it to you.
What?
Yes. Yes. Hilarious.
What's the matter? Have a rough night?
What's going on?
Overdid it on the soporific. Why do I feel like I've had this conversation before?
I'm just glad you're in the mood to converse again. Seriously, you took so much of that snake oil last
Bill?
night, I was starting to think you wanted me quiet for good.
I don't want him quiet for... What? Am I going nuts or is like Bill a ghost or something? Is Bill in my brain?
It's no personal slight. I just need some quiet time, or I'll go insane.
I get it. We all need our space. I know it's not easy, but there's really no need.
Not easy. Bill, I've been hearing your voice since you died. You don't shut up unless I take that accursed medicine. I'd say that qualifies as a bit more than
okay.
not easy.
Yeah, well, how do you think I feel? You think I enjoy being trapped here, listening to you whine about how hard your life's become? You at least still have yours.
You know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Bill. Also, I did look up the store page for Rosewater, and it sounds like it is about Harley. Did it say Bill's sister? So, hey.
I'm losing my grip on reality, and it's all because of you.
Believe
I don't
me,
wanna-
I know. It's not a pretty situation. But the bottom fact is, you're stuck with me. So you can either keep living this way and ruin your life even more than you already have,
So, like,
or you can do as I've told you and try to figure out a way to let me move on.
yeah, you know. Has Bill's death caused him to become like an actual narrator?
Right. For the 1000th time, you want me to find the burglar from the flower shop.
Yes, exactly.
I still don't get how that's going to help.
I can understand your confusion, considering it was you who killed me.
Yeah, you know.
The point remains. You wouldn't have been in that situation in the first place if not for him. Once the criminal has been caught and is in custody, we'll both get what we want.
A decent night's sleep.
A decent night's sleep?
More than that, you'll have that elusive thing you always wanted to give others. Closure.
You do
Hey,
realize
Neil.
the trail's pretty much frozen at this point. Our man has seemingly vanished into the ether.
That's no excuse not to keep trying. I know the cases Upton's been giving you these past few months haven't been the most thrilling, but they've at least kept you active. So just keep at it. Something has to turn up eventually. Unless, of course, you want to wind up in Riverview Asylum. And if that happens, I'm really not going to keep quiet.
Oh no.
Fine.
Good man. Now, I suggest you
That
stop
seems
talking
like an
to thin
interesting
air,
story, yeah.
or Adelaide's going to start wondering if you've gone mental. Or just maybe she'll stop wondering.
Very funny.
At least Bill is around.
Wouldn't you say it's time for a change of clothes, Miles? You've been wearing that coat for who knows how long.
Hey.
So, Addie gave it to me.
a
Besides,
long black
gives
coat.
me character.
Right. Brooding detective in a long black coat. That's never been seen before.
I
What are
mean...
you talking about, Bill?
Never mind.
Funny.
Pretty, but I'm glad I don't have a sense of smell anymore.
Oh, Bill's hat. No.
You should have let me be buried wearing my hat. At least it wouldn't be gathering dust like it is now.
If I'd done that, it would be dust right now.
Right, yeah.
Fair point. That's a fun little apparatus Adelaide got you. Very soothing.
Yeah, I like it.
Watching it spin long enough puts me right to sleep.
I'd say that's really more the soporifics doing.
That's true.
I'm certain a permanent indentation in the shape of your rear is starting to form on that thing. I always liked that self-portrait of Adelaide's mother, even if the eyes do always follow you around the room. Cozy little winter getaway. That would be a welcome change from the winters in this city.
Okay. Nightstand.
Miles, care to explain what you're doing?
Just checking to make sure everything that needs to be
I'm
in
just
here
clicking
still
on
is.
things.
Right. If you start taking that stuff during the day, you're really going to have problems.
Okay. Dressing
It's
table.
admirable just how organized Adelaide is. Maybe someday the same can be said about you.
All right. A bed for 3. That's a big bed, yeah. That's you can fit 3 people in that for sure. Hey.
Well, look who's awake. Ready to rejoin the living?
Very much so.
You were talking in your sleep again.
Did I say anything interesting?
Do you ever?
You have to admit, she's got you there.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
A touch groggy. I think I took a bit too much of the soporific last night.
That's what I thought. When you went for your after-lunch nap, you'd barely gotten breakfast down. I saved you some bread and cheese if you're hungry.
Bill's
Thank you,
always
but
sassy
I haven't
though.
got much of an appetite.
You really should.
But I
regulate
suppose
your
being
doses
stuck in
more
someone's head
carefully,
will
love.
make
I'm
that
sure dull
more
senses and an
sassy.
empty stomach aren't much help to your work. By the way, a message arrived via courier for you this morning.
Ooh.
I put it on the table along with today's newspaper.
Thank you, dear.
Read the newspaper first. Oh, wow. Okay, that's lots of words. I wasn't expecting to be able to read a full newspaper. I was expecting to do the Gabriel Knight thing of going, reading out the most important bits. Alright. I'm not going to read all these out loud because it would take ages, but let's just do a little skim read. Oh, was that the one that we saw earlier, the HMS 3-month anniversary of the tragic crash? Did that crash on the same night that Bill died? Well, that's curious. Gascon Grand Dame dies. Laura Dupre. Okay. Ethericity. It's real and it's coming, says scientist. And second bizarre murder baffles police. Another murder in Chumley, similar to the one that occurred in the borough last month. No reason to believe that they're related. Both victims are male and died from gunshot wounds. Ooh. Awkward. Okay. I like this piano music, it's nice. Fordham. A big case has come in, which I think will interest you. Meet me at the Rouen Coffee House for more details. See Upton.
Upton says she's got a big case for me.
Does she go into any more detail than that?
No, but then you know Upton. Always on a need-to-know basis. especially since she's been giving me these cases under the table.
To be fair, they haven't exactly been anything of note.
True, but she's still sticking her neck out for me. I can understand why she's so secretive about it.
Roman?
I think she just misses having you around the station.
Don't know. We'll find out, won't
Connie,
we?
With you quitting and me dying, she must be bored stiff at work.
Anyway, I'm supposed to meet her at the Ruin Coffee House. That
I
can't
was
be
right, it was ruined.
It's not like Constance to make mistakes. She must have gotten in somehow.
Guess I'll head over there and see what she's got then.
Alright. I'm gonna look
Remember
around.
how much time Adelaide had to spend convincing you to sit for this? At least these days, with ferrotype tech advancing the way it is, these portraits can be done in just a matter of minutes. How are your parents doing these days? It's been ages since you wrote them.
What are you, my conscience?
Didn't I give you two that clock as a wedding present? Too bad it stopped working.
I wonder why I did.
It might do you some good to look in the mirror a bit more often, Miles.
Hey.
Adelaide's father certainly had an amazing life. Imagine being the personal barber to the Prime Minister and his family. The gossip and secrets he must have heard.
Intriguing.
Ah, the Havisham case. Our first time out as partners. First in a long line of successful cases. It's
Look,
nice to
we've
have
got a
another
hanging
one
plant
for
here
you
as well.
guys.
There's so many little
That makes
hotspots
me
to click
wonder
on.
What old
I like
Mrs.
this.
Handbrook is up to these days.
Yeah. I'm curious about that as well. Model
Building
ships.
those model ships was a good way to pass the time between cases. Hopefully it'll be a while before you get enough time to build another one. Your book collection has always astonished me. Heaven help you if you ever decide to move.
Oh, what a mood.
It's been so long since you used that desk.
That's a desk?
Did you even notice
It's
when
very,
Adelaide got rid of the chair?
very small, isn't it? He got rid of the chair. It's true. A truncheon!
I'd love to see the look on Snelling's face if he ever found out you kept your old truncheon.
And a bottle.
Bollingworth Ale.
Ah.
My favorite.
Small
And
enough to
a
write
nice
a letter.
souvenir
Yeah.
from the Angel. You really ought to go back there someday.
Alright, let's chat to Adelaide.
Addie,
Yes, dear?
how's work going? You have any appointments today?
He's quite
Yes. one this
rough
evening.
around the edges, isn't he?
It's been a bit slow lately, but pretty soon it'll be debutante ball season, and all the Gascon grand dames will need their hair done. You sure I can't convince you to let me give you a little
Disheveled,
trim?
yeah.
You've been looking awfully scruffy lately.
Exactly.
What's the point? I've got no need to go peacocking around town. You're the only girl for me.
I like it when you're clean cut. It brings out your eyes.
The way my eyes have been looking lately, I think it's best to keep them hidden. How are you? It feels as though we haven't seen much of each other these past few days.
I've been fine.
Addie, you're not a very good liar. What's on your mind?
I'm worried about you, Miles.
I know, but I've told you, there's no need to worry about me. I'm all right.
You're not all right.
Quote from
Miles.
Man All Right.
I may not be a
I'm
good
all
liar,
right.
but you can't fool me either.
So not
I
alright.
am all right. What do I have to do to convince you of that?
You could start by throwing out that sleeping medicine. It's turned you into a different person.
I needed to sleep, Addie. I'll become an even worse person without it, believe me.
I know Bill's death was hard for you. It was hard for
He
all
does,
of
he does
us.
look a little bit like
But whatever
Robert
it is
Downey
that's
Jr. in the
bothering
Sherlock
you,
movie.
you
Sherlock Holmes
know
movies,
you
yeah.
can talk to me about it. That's what I'm
Bill,
here
tell her
for.
I'm alright.
I know, my love. Your support means the world to me. I need some time to deal with things. That's all. It won't always be like this, I promise.
Making promises you can't keep, eh, Miles? That'll end well.
Come on, Bill. Work with me here.
I've still got that song you sang last week at the Rutherford stuck in my head. You were amazing.
Thank you, Miles. That was a lovely evening. I always enjoy it when Joseph brings out his violin and we can relive the old days.
Certainly nicer than when he spends hours telling the exact same story whenever you visit.
They were very glad to see you, you know.
It's probably the most fun I've had in months, to be honest.
They've invited us for dinner again in a couple of weeks, if you're feeling up to it.
I hope I am.
Need a haircut, though, and maybe a shave. And maybe try and get rid of the bags under your eyes. Just, you know, get the whole thing changed. You're not looking great, dude.
What's that you're reading?
It's a collection of short stories by James Penstroke. It was just published earlier this month.
Okay.
Any good?
Oh yes, I love his work. He's been publishing a new serial in Brentwell magazine. I
Lovely.
can't wait to read it. Perhaps we both can together? I think you'd enjoy him.
Aw, that's cute.
Lately, I haven't been able to concentrate on a page for more than 5 minutes without nodding off.
That is a pity.
I'll let you get back to your book.
These two are cute. Front door. Oh,
I'll see you
oops!
later.
I accidentally skipped that.
Goodbye, dear. Love you.
It's
Love you
good
too.
for saving time, I suppose, though. All right. So this is Fordham Residence, and then we've got the Ruin Coffee House. So let's head over there. I like this map. This is a very Gabriel Knight-ish map as well, actually. I like that. I like that. I should replay Gabriel Knight 1 on stream at some point. It's been a couple of years since I last played it, I think, so... Actually, would it have been 2017 when I last played Gabriel Knight 1? Nearly 3 years then. Looks like I need to... Yeah, it sounds like I need to replay Gabriel Knight 1. Definitely.
Ah, the Ruin Coffee House.
Yeah, 2017.
Worst Java in Lamplight City, but there's no better place to overhear all the rumors and gossip in town.
Let's get that gossip.
Just make sure you don't get too close to the other patrons. Discretion was never your forte.
What's wrong with my discretion? Constance Upton. Let's talk to Constance first, and then we'll chat to some other people around, I think. Yeah, totally not Napoleon House. I was
Here's
thinking
my
that.
old
Yeah,
friend, Upton
it is
Open.
quite Napoleon
Hello,
house-ish.
Fordham. It's good to see you.
How did you get them to let you in here?
It's rather simple, really. The owner and I have an understanding.
Put on the commentary to hear your defense.
He pretends women are allowed in coffee houses, and I don't report his unsavory business practices to Chief Snelling.
Sounds like a good deal. What sort of unsavory business practices are we talking about?
Oh, we haven't got time to get into that now. But take some advice. Don't order anything that isn't water.
Right.
I got your message. What's going on?
It's time for you to join the big boys again, Fordham. Your days of finding lost cats are over.
So stop teasing me and tell me what it is already.
Do you know Madame Laura Dupre?
I've heard the name. I think I heard Dupre. I saw Dupre's name in the newspaper.
Laura Dupre. She's one of those Gascon Grand Dames, isn't she?
That's right. I'm surprised you've heard of her. I didn't think you cared about those types of people.
I don't, but Adelaide has several of them as clients. She
Ah.
gets paid to pretend to care about their lives, and I get to hear the sort of details.
Oh, lovely.
Madame Dupre died the day before yesterday. Her funeral was held this morning.
My condolences.
Yeah, I saw that in
But
the
halfway
newspaper.
through the service, the mourners heard a loud knocking coming from inside her coffin.
A vampire.
She wasn't dead?
Apparently not. Nearly interred alive, although her doctor swears she had no pulse. Dupre's
That's
son
curious.
Andrew was quick to suspect foul play. He accused a man named Albert Martin, and the police arrested him.
So where do I come in? Sounds like the case has already been solved.
I strongly suspect that Martin is innocent,
Ah.
especially considering the talk of him having used black magic on Dupre. The police
Black
feel they have
magic, eh?
enough evidence to convict, so they're not bothering to investigate any further. You're going to look into it and see if I'm right, then find the person who was really behind this.
Has Madame Dupre recovered from her ordeal?
I'm afraid not. Apparently she's been catatonic since they pulled her out of the coffin.
That would be a traumatic
How
experience.
unfortunate.
If you'd like to question Mr. Martin, he's being held at the Bow Street Jail. Or you could take a look around his house. It's at 451 Compton Street in Worcester.
And the Dupre home?
That's at Emmeline and Comtesse, right across from the old Angeline convent. It's also possible you might run into the police during your investigation, since they're technically still on the case.
Oh, fun.
Thanks for the warning.
Ding.
Was there anything you wanted to talk about before you get started?
Let's have a little bit of a
Yes,
chat.
Actually, I had a couple of questions.
Let's hear them then.
How are things going with you?
Work is hectic as usual, and I'm spending my day off in here. But considering my home life is still a shambles, maybe this is the best place to be.
Oh,
I'm
fair
truly
enough,
sorry
fair enough.
about that.
Don't be ridiculous. If it hadn't been for you, I'd still be chained to that philandering bastard. It hasn't been easy, but I'm much better off this way. Trust me. Anyway, work gives me something to focus on. I'm sure you can relate to that.
Yes, and I'm grateful to you for getting me these case leads. I know you're taking a risk to do it.
It's the least I can do. How about you? How's Adelaide?
She's fine.
Well, she's fine.
Although things between us could be improved, if I'm being honest.
She's fine.
Less
I'm a
said about
mess.
it right now, the better, I think.
I'm sorry to hear that. You can talk to me about it if you need to, although I'm probably not the best person to ask for relationship advice.
Bill's death. Let's talk about
Don't
that.
suppose there have been any developments regarding Bill's murder.
Unfortunately not. The department hasn't exactly been focusing on that case as a priority.
Well,
The general attitude is that it was an accident. Bill died an honorable death in the line of duty.
Would have been nice if they bothered saying that at the funeral.
And of course, there are still those who blame you for his death.
Yeah,
Smelling being the
definitely
first and foremost.
The man who really caused Bill's death
yeah,
is
not my
still
fault.
out there.
Yes, I know, but it looks like you're on your own if you want to find him. My hands are tied. I can only ask around so much before the higher-ups get suspicious. Just don't give up. New Britannia may be a big city, but the criminal world is surprisingly close-knit. If you find any connections or leads during your other cases, be sure and let me know.
She's fine. I look like
I'll
Robert
do the same
Pattinson
if
on
I find
heroin.
anything out.
I could see that, yeah.
She has a priority straight. You could learn a lot from Upton.
All right.
I wanted to go over the case with you.
Let's see what this does
Okay,
then.
what have you got?
I have nothing.
That's enough about the case for now.
Okay, so
Okay.
I assume we'll be able to go this over and over to like sort of present evidence and discuss it. So that's
That's it, I
That's quite
think.
interesting.
Then you'd better get back to it.
I better.
Well, I'm not entirely sure how this is going to help you find the flower shop burglar, but I suppose freeing an innocent man is a worthy diversion.
Gotta do what you gotta do. All right, let's do a quick save. Coffee.
He and his friend are having quite the conversation. I bet it's really boring.
Yeah, I bet.
Best avoid that one. He looks like he might tip over at any moment. Reminds me
okay.
of when I was alive. Ah, good times.
Why are those plates dirty?
Not much of a hurry to clean up in here, are they?
Oh, I guess they haven't cleaned them up. I suppose it's a logical conclusion there.
Judging by the sooty apron, this man is either a metal worker, a chimney sweep, or just really lazy when it comes to washing. Just one of many patrons contributing to the oppressive thug in here.
I see.
Asleep at a coffee house. One of life's little ironies.
That's funny.
A young woman holding a guitar. Completely the wrong way, I might add.
Well, you know.
Self-Portrait as a Desperate Man by B. Calvert. A bit like looking in the mirror, isn't it,
Come
Miles?
on, dude.
What a cheery reminder of everyone's impending death. That whole thing about the man in the black robe, complete lie, by the way.
Well, good to know.
All that metal and tubing just to serve a hot cup of coffee?
Well, you
Good
know.
to see you up and about again.
Oh. You talking to me?
He and his...
Hard to believe it's already been 3 months since the big crash.
Ooh.
I know. I was just thinking the other day how much Lucy has grown up in such a short amount of time.
Does she understand what happened?
I think so. She's been asking questions about her mama lately, but I still haven't told her the whole story.
You'll know when the time is right.
Interesting. Okay.
So you plan on going to the Lygia vigil tonight?
Nah. I heard Harris is gonna be giving a speech. There's no
Bit
way
close.
I can look that man in the face.
You know it's not his fault, right? I think he's getting an unfair reputation.
If he cared enough to make sure the airship was safe, it never would have crashed. He's as much at fault as anyone.
You really should go. Eliza would have wanted it, I think.
I know, you're right. I'll think about
Quite a
it.
few people who have suffered losses because of the crash of the airship, it sounds
She's
like.
running back and forth at lightning speed. Clearly, she dips into the coffee supply.
Well, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Nice seaside landscape. Definitely a stark contrast to the ambiance in here.
Is Survivor's
How are
Guilt gonna be a
things at the
theme
steel
here?
mill?
Oh.
Oh, you know. Same old, same old.
Have they bought in any of the new automated machines?
Not yet, but the boss has been talking about it.
Ooh.
Some of the boys have been talking, and they ain't happy about the
I
idea.
can imagine.
Well, you didn't hear this from me. But I heard the Redites are gonna be making some moves very soon.
The Redites? I thought they was just a story.
What are the Redites?
Oh no, they's real all right. But this ain't the place to be talking about them. Forget I said anything.
Oh, well, they sound interesting. You guys got anything else to say?
Where are you now? Don't even.
What about you?
And well, you.
All right. And we got plenty of locations to go. Look at our case book. So we can question a premature inhumation. Did Albert Martin really do what he's accused of and cause Madame Laura Dupre to almost be interred alive, or was it someone else? Question residents of Dupre Manor, and question Albert Martin in jail. So there's the jail. And there's Dupré Manor. And also Compton Street. When was that mentioned again? Hold on. Okay. Alright. I know that was mentioned, but I couldn't remember exactly when that was. Let's go to Dupré Manor first.
You are aware this is private property, sir?
Yeah, I just walked in. What's up?
Yes, I'm Miles Fordham, private investigator. I'm looking into the incident involving Madame Dupré. I assume this is she?
You assume correctly, Mr. Fordham. My apologies, but I thought the police had already made an arrest.
That's right, but there's still some doubt as to the man's guilt. May I ask your name, sir?
I am Dr. Fellows, Madame Dupré's private physician. I'm afraid she is in no state to be answering questions at present.
Private physician,
Are any of the
eh?
members of the family home?
I'm instantly
Her son,
suspicious
Mr.
of you.
Montgomery is in the entrance hall. I had to give him a mild sedative to settle his nerves, but he should be all right to converse.
Then if you don't mind, I'll have a look around.
Let me talk to you first, Dr. Fellows.
Doctor, may I ask you a few questions?
Please be my guest.
He's got some killer sideburns.
Tell me about Madame Dupré.
She is a great woman and a pillar of the community. I cannot imagine why something like this could happen to her, or how someone could be capable of such a barbaric feat. Though this ordeal has been terrible, I am confident she will overcome. The power of her physical constitution is surpassed only by her strength of character.
You think he'd say the same things if he wasn't on her payroll? I highly doubt it.
Yeah. That's an 8-head right there. I got you.
What were the circumstances surrounding Madame Dupré's supposed death?
Her son, Andrew, sent for me a few days ago after finding her unconscious and unresponsive. As I was unable to detect a pulse or breath, I had no other recourse but to declare her deceased. I judged that Madame Dupré had likely suffered a sudden cardiac arrest. It was most shocking to be proven wrong at a funeral.
Okay.
I can imagine. Where was the funeral held, by the way?
St. Denis Cemetery. Madame Dupré wished to be interred in the tomb of her father's family, name of Chesterton.
Oh,
Perhaps I'll go have a look.
Chesterton, eh? Wonder if there's an E in there.
How long have you been Madame Dupré's private physician?
5 years, and I've been practicing medicine for the past 30.
I did not
I still
ask.
spend a couple of days a week treating patients at Riverview Asylum.
I didn't ask
Oh,
that
good.
either.
Maybe if you're lucky, he could be your doctor someday.
Quiet, Bill.
30 years is quite a long time. You must have seen some incredible advances in the field of medicine.
I have, yes. I can only wonder how things will change with all this talk of ethericity. There's speculation it can be used to restore necrotic tissue and instantly heal broken bones, among other things.
Really?
If you ask me, a good bloodletting will never go out of fashion.
Where did you go to medical school again? Okay, you know what? Never mind.
Did you examine Madame Dupré after she reanimated?
Of course. Physically, she appeared to be in fine health aside from minor dehydration. I found no marks or bruising on her body. Mentally is a different story, however. She's remained in an unresponsive state ever since.
Do you have any opinions on what caused Madame Dupré to appear dead?
The most likely cause I can imagine is some sort of poison or toxin.
I have a question. Are lilies poisonous? Just Oh, you missed quite a few things, Kristen. So, were you there for what happened to Bill? But I think it's... I think they are a bit. They're toxic to cats, yeah. And they're toxic to humans as well? I don't actually know.
What leads you to believe Madame Dupré was poisoned?
The symptoms she experienced were consistent with prior cases of poisoning I've studied. And didn't the young man arrested have ties to some kind of black magic cult?
Well, I don't know. I
There
haven't
have
talked to
been
him yet.
reported cases of these practitioners using poisons to make people appear dead, then commanding them to do their bidding. I recall reading
see.
about a man in the West Indies who was given tetrodotoxin, that's the toxic secretion from a pufferfish, declared dead and buried. He appeared alive in his village some 20 years later.
Doesn't that seem a bit
Sounds
far-fetched
wild.
to you, Doctor?
Facts are facts, Mr. Fordham. Surely someone in
Yeah,
your
I knew there were
line of
poisonous
work
to
can
cats,
appreciate
but
that.
Those are all the
I'm
questions
not
I've
sure
got
if
for
it's
now.
human as well.
I hope I answered them adequately.
So, Kristen, I don't know when you left, but Bill died, and then it was 3 months later, and then we're now investigating something else that might lead us to find the guy who we met on the night Bill died. So, who held a knife to his throat. And Bill's in our head now as well. Yeah, Bill is now the narrator for some reason, and we talk to him. It's you know. There's something going on. I think it's something to do with ETH Eternity, if you ask me, which is some kind of
This fountain
spiritual
probably looked nicer when it
electricity.
was working, but right now it's just a breeding ground for mosquitoes. Her eyes are glazed over, and she's got a vacant, expressionless stare. She seems completely oblivious to her surroundings. If we didn't know she'd been buried alive, I'd say she was just exhibiting the typical symptoms of your average rich person.
Zing.
With her vast sums of wealth, Madame Dupre could probably feed a starving family for the next 30 years. Instead, she uses the money to keep her hedges trimmed.
Well, you know.
With her vast sums of...
Oh. Okay. Well, let's go talk to the sun then. Bill woke. Oh, nice posture. Look at that.
Hello.
Look at the way he
You the new
sat.
servant? No, I'm Miles Fordham. I'm a private investigator looking into your mother's attempted murder.
How did you know I was her son? Oh, of course. You must have sensed it with your detective's
Why do you-
intuition.
why-
I should have guessed
why
by
do you
that
have, like, a-
giant head of yours.
Are you feeling all right, Mr. Montgomery?
Yes, I'm fine. Much better than when those pesky police officers were snooping around earlier. But I like you, Mr. Fordham. I can already tell you're not like them at all. Please, call me Andrew.
Yes. Well, I'll have a look around, and I may need to ask you some questions. Do you think you can handle that?
I can. In fact, I really
Yeah, he is.
look
He is on
forward to it.
cloud 9.
If the good doctor gave him a mild sedative, I'd hate to see what the stuff you take would have done to him.
God damn it, Bill. Nice parrot.
Parrot. Must have cost the Dupre's a cool copper.
This man is either flamboyantly gay or high as shit. Could be both.
I have some questions for you.
Oh, goody.
He's just living his best life. This guy's got some killer sideburns as well. Is it like a prerequisite if you're rich to have like killer sideburns?
What can you tell me about Madame Dupre?
She came back from the dead. I couldn't believe it.
Man spreading
My
without using
mother,
his legs.
Resurrected, just like Jesus.
Not really like Jesus. I wouldn't say
yes. I heard you're the one who accused Mr. Martin of the crime.
Oh, no, I already talked to the police about that. I don't want to think about it right now.
that. Tell me about yourself.
How do you typically spend your days, Mr. Montgomery? What are your interests?
Oh, a little of this and a little of that.
That answers none of my
Nothing as
questions.
exciting as what you do, I'm sure. Ooh, tell me, do most bad people start crying when you catch them? I'll bet it's a laugh riot to see them sobbing away.
No, they mostly just threaten to stab my
No,
friends.
Mr. Montgomery, most of them don't.
Well, that's a real shame, isn't it?
That's a rather exotic bird you've got.
I like looking at him. He has such pretty colors, doesn't he?
That he does.
You know, I've always wondered what he might taste like.
Okay.
Bad, do you think?
Yeah, that's bad.
I really couldn't say, Mr. Montgomery. Thanks for your time.
This guy's weird.
No, thank you for yours.
I don't want to talk to
This
this
is
guy anymore.
He won't be of any use in this state. If it takes him as long to snap out of it as it takes you, we'll be waiting around here until noontime tomorrow. There has to be a way to bring him back to his senses. Maybe that quack outside knows something of use.
All right.
Dupre looks like she's holding on to that poor bastard for dear life.
Oh, it's the kitchen. I thought that was like what you call it? A padded cell. You go upstairs and it's a nice rug. Let's have a look at the kitchen. You just do your thing, buddy. Ah. Hello.
Pardon me, miss.
What? Who are you?
I'm Miles Fordham. I'm investigating the attempted murder of Madame Dupre.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir, but I'm very busy. I can't help you.
Okay.
Do you know anything about what happened to Madame Dupre?
No, I don't. Please leave me to my work. I shouldn't be talking to you.
All right, I'm going.
All right. She does not want to talk to me.
Certainly no shortage of bowls or food preparation items around here. Yeah, it looks like gumbo's on the menu tonight. I wonder how it compares with Upton's special recipe.
Spice jars.
Looks like the type of spices you'd use in a stew. Most likely paprika or turmeric. Nice variety of reds and oranges. Judging by the amount of food this family probably eats, washing the dishes must take forever.
Probably true.
Some kind of water dispensing device, maybe? I was never very good at finding my way around the kitchen.
I'm not sure what the sort of mechanics of race are in this universe, Tenwin. Obviously, it's an alternate history, but it's still like 19th century.
A horrible little porcelain figurine. Madame Dupre didn't strike me as the type to play with dolls.
We're just free reign right now. We're just like
Goodness,
waltzing
someone
about.
went overboard with the flowers. This brings
I
back
like that
some
one,
memories,
O'Neill.
doesn't it?
Ones I'd rather forget.
Yeah. A kind of altered history. You haven't seen anything. There's like extra technology, I think. Tenwin, kind of like zeppelins flying around, and is that the Eternity thing? More technology, basically.
These should be
Tweezers.
useful.
I have tweezers now.
Dr. Tennyson's vigor pills. These would make a sloth act like a hummingbird.
Uh-huh. Ooh, pot of leeches.
Is this really the best that medical science has to offer?
No.
A gentle reminder that everyone's time is slowly running out.
Okay.
The science of pharmacology. I'm sure it's riveting stuff.
Where's the bookmark at, though?
It looks as though this folded piece of paper is being used as a bookmark.
Well, let's have a look.
I hope remembering what page they were on wasn't too important.
Looks like it's a letter for Andrew.
Andrew, encloses the agreed-upon fee. I wouldn't be able to concentrate on exams without this help. Dr. Tennyson charges an obscene amount. Thank goodness for good people like you with home pharmacies. I'll look for them in the usual spot under the Weeping Angel. Ooh. Joshua. Sorry to hear about your mother. I'll wait a few days before passing by. Let's have a look at something below that Weeping Angel. then.
Decadent.
Yeah. Can I take these?
The bottle is empty.
Interesting. Look at our casebook clues. So we got the testimony from Dr. Fellows, the tweezers, and okay. Oh my god, those rosy emotes.
What in the ether is that thing supposed to be? Actually, I'd rather not know.
All right,
Yeah, it must be a nice place to sit and listen to music.
let's play the piano. Also, the harpsichord. Ooh, I wonder if there's a music puzzle. If I knew how to do Megalovania, I would, but I don't, unfortunately. I don't know the notes. No, I don't know it. I have no idea. I have no musical talent. Someone look up the notes. I want to know how to do it, so in future I will be able to do it. Part of me thinks it might be D. To start with. You know what? Let's leave it.
Oh, look! It's one of those new audio cylindergraphs. I can't quite wrap my head around how they can manage to get sound out of a wax cylinder.
It contains 90% benzoyl methyl. I read that horribly wrongly. The bigger pills are 90% cocaine. Okay.
I don't know much about art, but I see Madame Dupre and I at least have similar tastes.
Bill's definitely gay. That's cool though. I like how they're just so matter of fact about it. Oh, a chest.
Locked. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised.
I've never seen so many beauty products together in one place. Doesn't look like they get used much, though. Whoever lives in this room really likes plants and flowers, don't they? Nice little cottage. Looks like it would make a nice cozy spot to retire. If I hadn't already retired from life, that is.
Yeah, sorry about that, Bill. Papers.
Let's have a look through these papers. Aha, what's this?
It's 4Ds? You sure? Oh. Dear Miss Montgomery, unfortunately I've been informed of a series of burglaries in the neighborhood near the room you're renting from me at 76 Forest Lane. As a precaution, I've gone ahead and changed the locks. Please find and close a copy of your new key. I hope this doesn't cause you too much of an inconvenience. Yours, Edwina Crestfell.
Interesting. This Miss Montgomery must be Andrew's sister. Why is she renting a room in the Chum? Guess there's really only one way to find out.
Yeah, we've got some investigating to do. I like how we've got like plenty to kind of look into at the moment. That feels like quite Gabriel Knight. I like that. So I've got these. And then we've got these objectives as well. So question residents of Dupre Manor. Question Albert Martin in jail. Investigate the Chesterton tomb and investigate the rented room at 76 Forest Lane. Let's have a look at this room.
A much younger Madame Dupre. I suppose that's a nice alternative to a mirror. Ooh, a fainting couch. You know, I always wanted one of these, but I never fainted enough to justify buying one.
Ooh. Choice and Consequence. Parson of Crook Hall. Convent of the Damned and Other Short Stories. The Chestertons, A Brief History. Ooh, that might be handy.
Doesn't appear to be very brief if there's 2 volumes of it. I wonder if anyone outside the family would find this even remotely interesting.
Probably not.
One of those melodramatic romances. I read it a while back, and I couldn't tell you a thing about it. Now that one sounds interesting. I was always a fan of Bedletter's short stories. Choice and Consequence. Who in their right mind would write a book about that? I don't even want to know what that one's about.
Equestrian Mesmerism. So what? Is that like about hypnotizing horses? Dr. Edgar Fentiman. Okay.
I read that one last year. If you ever wanted to know the intimate details of a buffalo's anatomy, I highly recommend it.
I'm good, actually. I'm good.
It would appear that Madame Dupre was taking music lessons.
Her current predicament has probably put an end to that venture, though.
C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. I'm gonna note that down. Where did my pen go? It's on my chair. I'm not sure if it gets noted in my notebook thing, but I'm gonna note it down myself because I like noting things down. Because my desk makes my desk look cast the open draft. I get that reference.
That's an old uniform from the turn of the century by the look of it. This must be Madame Dupre's first husband. Kind of strange that she'd still keep his portrait in the bedroom. You've got some huge bags under your eyes, Miles. Reminds me of the case we had on that strange train.
Don't remind me.
Desk drawers.
Let's see if there's anything in these drawers. Damn, nothing but personal effects and more stationery.
Well, that's disappointing.
Don't forget the first rule of detective work. If there's nothing useful inside, check underneath and between.
Good point.
Ah, yes, of course. Thanks for the reminder.
Uh-huh, now this is intriguing.
Ooh. I'm not going to warn you again, you disgusting mulatto thug. Stay away from my daughter and my house, or I'll kill you myself. Okay. Well, someone wasn't very happy, were they? Mulatto is a slur for biracial folk. I did not know that. I actually did not know that. Is that more of like an American thing, or...? Hold on, what was I? I guess we found us the racial mechanics. Yep, I guess we did. I kind of had a feeling it was like that. Yeah. Old-timey racist word. Okay. Anything else I can talk to Andrew about now that we've gone through?
I have some questions for you.
Yeah?
Oh, goody.
Might be a southern thing? Bigger pills.
I found this bottle of pills upstairs. Are they yours?
Yes, I take those from time to time when I'm feeling tired.
Okay.
You seem to be out.
Yes, that is a pity.
Where do you usually acquire them?
Oh, they're available by mail order only. I'll have to remember to request some later.
I found a letter upstairs addressed to a Miss Montgomery. Who is that?
You were snooping around up there? Naughty, naughty, Mr. Fordham.
Don't say that.
It's part of my job. Now, are you going to tell me or not?
No, I don't think I will. You're the detective. I'll let you solve that mystery yourself.
I think this mystery could be best solved with a punch in the nose.
Yeah.
God, I wish I still had fists.
Thanks for your
It
time.
sounds like Bill agrees with you, Dogman.
Thank you for yours.
Alright, let's go talk to the doctor again. I think we might have something else to ask him.
Doctor, may I ask you a few questions?
Please be my guest.
May I ask exactly what kind of sedative you gave Andrew?
A simple tincture of laudanum. It's what I give all my nervous patients.
He seems a
Okay,
bit
give me some of
out
that.
of sorts.
Hot meat kettle.
It can have that effect, but it usually wears off in half a day or so.
Half a day?
Is there a way to bring him out of his condition sooner?
A stimulant would have the opposite effect, but I wouldn't recommend mixing the two. It could have potentially harmful effects on his heart.
Oh, of course. I wasn't planning on doing anything of the sort. I was just curious.
It's cute how you act like you have no experience in these matters. It's almost convincing.
Objective
Those are all the
added.
questions I've got
Give
for
Andrew
now.
a heart attack.
I hope I answered them adequately.
Yeah, well, alright. I believe they said there was something underneath the Weeping Angel.
This fountain probably looked nicer when it was working, but right now it's
Is
just
this
a breeding
one?
ground for mosquitoes.
Hold on, we have
There's an
a
angel on the fountain, but it doesn't look like it's weeping. This would probably be too risky a place to hide something anyway.
yeah. Okay. I wonder if it's at the graveyard then. Let's have a look. Oh wow, this is really opening up. St. Denis Cemetery. Oh, hi.
Ah, St. Denis Cemetery. Best view in the city. It's just a shame none of the residents can enjoy it. I think I'm buried around here somewhere. Wonder how the old gravestone is doing these days. This just goes to show you can't take it with you, so you might as well spend it all on a giant tomb.
What's
I
up,
don't know
Mr.
him.
Officer?
Must be a recent addition to the force. Well, at least he won't recognize you.
That's true. What's up, dude?
Good day to you, officer.
Good day, sir. How may I be of assistance?
Sure is a nice day to be walking around the cemetery, wouldn't you agree?
I guess, if you're into that sort of thing.
I sure am.
Personally, the noise those bugs are making is starting to drive me crazy.
Oh, you don't like the bug noises, do you?
Would you mind letting me in the tomb, please?
Afraid I can't do that, sir. This tomb is currently part of a police investigation and ain't available for visits until further notice.
I think I saw someone being mugged at the front entrance. Ooh, should we try it? You know, actually, I'm gonna save
just
and
keep
try
moving
it.
along.
And try it. Let me
Have a nice day, sir.
Doom.
Good day to you, officer.
Afraid I ain't got time for idle please.
Oh, I've screwed up my chance for that. Oh well. Okay then. I assume it might not have worked anyway.
Plaque says Harrison. Doesn't look very opulent.
Harrison, eh?
So I guess it doesn't belong to anyone important.
I don't think we can get in there just yet then. That just leaves. All right.
Looks like people have left markings and offerings in front of this tomb. You may think it's a silly superstition, but I wish you'd leave a bottle of Bollingworth at my grave every now and then.
You're not gonna drink it though. Someone would just steal it probably. Alright, let's interview the suspect then.
Fordham? Is that you? You look like something a cat spat up.
Nice to see you
Hello,
too, buddy.
Giles. It's lovely to see you too.
What brings you round the jail? I thought you'd quit being a detective.
I'm looking to speak with Mr. Albert Martin.
Oh, I see. Well, that's him in the first cell there. I'd say what needs saying as quick as you can, though. He's headed for the gallows in the morning.
Well, damn.
What? Already? But what about a trial?
No trial necessary when there's black magic involved. This little half-breed's already sealed his fate.
Okay.
Such a charming fella,
Damn.
isn't he?
Right. Yeah, we definitely worked out that that there's yep.
Mr. Martin?
Who are you?
A lot of racism here.
No, I'm actually here to help you. The name's Miles Fordham. I'm a private investigator.
How are you going to help me?
I'm looking into the attack on Madame Dupre. I believe you're innocent.
Oh, thank heaven. That's music to my ears.
Would you mind answering a few questions for me?
Friend, if it means saving me from the noose, I'll tell you nothing less than God's truth.
Interesting choice of phrase for someone accused of using black magic.
Okay.
What can you tell me about Madame Dupre?
What's to tell? She's a twisted, evil woman who...
You're not helping your case.
Whoever attacked her deserves some sort of reward for the service they're doing the community.
So it wasn't you then?
No, I'm innocent, Mr. Fordham. You have to believe me.
I'm afraid you're not making that very easy right now, Mr. Martin.
It's like, well, I hated her. She was horrible. It wasn't me though.
Do you know anything about the circumstances of Madame Dupre's supposed death?
No, I had nothing to do with it.
Then why did her son accuse you?
Probably because he's just as ignorant as she is.
What I meant was, how did her son know to accuse you? Have you had any contact with the family before?
Yes, you could say that.
Uh-oh. That gleam in his eye says it all.
You see, I'm involved with Dupre's daughter,
Ah.
Juliet Montgomery. Dupre doesn't like that one bit.
I see.
She even threatened me once.
Is that right?
Yes. She might have everyone else fooled, but that woman is the devil incarnate. I can't understand how something so heartless and cruel could have spawned someone as pure and, loving as my dear Juliet.
He's not really helping his case much, is he?
Okay.
Tell me about Juliet.
She's wonderful. Such a beautiful, kind soul. She hasn't come to see me yet, but I'm sure that's because of all the confusion in the last few days.
Naturally.
Juliet wouldn't believe for a second that I would be capable of harming her mother. I'm sure of it.
How did you two get involved?
We met at the university.
Your classmates?
Hardly. They wouldn't allow someone like me to enroll there. Juliet studies botany. I work as an assistant in the greenhouse. We started talking, and she actually treated me like a person. To everyone else, I was just the boy who fetched the test tubes. But Juliet actually wanted to hear what I had to say. Had the same taste in books and art.
That's nice.
Didn't just treat me like some piece of gardening equipment. She even shared some of her notes with me after I told her I was interested in botany as well. From there, things just got better. I don't expect you to understand or approve, but that's how it happened.
Oh, you'd be surprised. It doesn't sound too different to how my wife and I got together. Except I was a detective and she was a singer at a bar.
And she's...
Yes, Mr. Martin. Anyway, back to the matter at hand. How often is Juliet in the greenhouse?
Every weekday, but I doubt she's there now. She's probably trying to find out where I am and working to have me released.
Somehow, I wouldn't bet on that.
Want to bet that the daughter is using him as a scapegoat to kill her mother? That might be possible, yeah. Andrew could also have his own reasons, though, as well, Dogman. I do wonder, what is maybe a conspiracy here?
How did you end up in here?
I was just minding my own business at home when the police showed up with no warning. They made some outrageous claims about me putting some sort of curse on Madame Dupre. The next thing I knew, I was here. Oh, Mama must be beside herself with worry. I just hope she's all right.
What does your mother do, Mr. Martin?
Can I visit her?
She helps people.
I was hoping you'd be
that's
just
not,
a bit
that's
more
not
specific.
really, doesn't narrow it
She
down.
provides spiritual help to those who seek guidance.
Oh, well, why didn't you say so?
She's a spiritualist.
Not quite. She's more like... how can I explain it? You know how a priest holds mass to spread the word of God to the people? My mother holds services and calls on the spirits to walk among us, providing healing and guidance.
So she's a religious leader?
If you want to give her that title, it would be the most appropriate.
And does this religion of yours have a name?
You'd probably know it as...
Oh!
Voodoo, but it doesn't mean what you think it
Voodoo.
does. People are so quick to judge and portray us as evil when they have no idea.
There's more Gabriel-like influence here than I thought. New Orleans, voodoo. Long black coat. Nice. What can you tell me about voodoo?
So you practice voodoo, do you?
Are you making fun of me, Mr. Fordham?
No, of course not. Apologies if it seemed as though I was. It's just that the police are convinced that black magic was involved in Madame Dupre's apparent death.
That's because that idiot son of hers knew about my mother, and like all bigoted fools, assumed that we're involved in devil worship and the black arts. But I can assure you that this is most certainly not the case, Mr. Fordham.
Of course, I didn't mean to imply.
Just forget it.
That's all for now.
Wait, before you go, would you do me a favor? Would you go see my mother at our house and give her a message?
I absolutely
You're
would love
at
to.
451 Compton Street, right?
Ah, all right, yeah.
Yes, that's right. Could you tell her I said St. Rock's dog is barking?
I suppose I could do that, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Whatever happened to a simple I love you?
Feels so good. Okay. Wow, we've got plenty to work on. I actually really love Bill. He is so funny, actually. Okay, we got so many places to go. Is that a Veve? Alright. I'm going to go to... I'm going to go to Compton Street. You know, I might as well.
Ah, Compton Street. We're not too far from Restaurant Row. When's the last time you ate, anyway?
Please, let's not add eating to the list of things to nag me about.
I'm sorry, I have no time for visitors today.
You're Albert Martin's mother, aren't you?
Who are you?
Miles Fordham. I spoke with Albert, and he told me to give you a message. He said to tell you that St. Rock's dog is barking.
There you go.
Oh, I see. That's good. That's very good. You better come in, Mr. Fordham. Standing on the street just won't do.
Thank you.
Welcome to my home, Mr. Fordham. I am Sabine Martin. I hope you understand that Albert has nothing to do with this awful business.
Oh, yeah.
Would you care for some tea?
I'd love some.
Well, her tune certainly changed when you gave her that message. I wonder what it meant.
Yeah, I really like her place.
No, thank you, ma'am. I won't be staying long.
It looks like someone's Animal Crossing house, honestly. Like the sort of the neatness of it.
A rather unremarkable book collection, I'm sorry to say. That statue, on the other hand, gives me the willies.
What's that?
For all we know, that rider is some sort of demon. He looks like he's having a good time, at least.
I think he's just a dude riding a horse.
Interesting. Those pots look as though they've been wrapped in tobacco leaves.
Neat.
That pattern resembles a flower. Too bad it isn't an Easter lily. It's some old man with a dog standing at the center of a crossroads. If that's meant to have any sort of significance, it's completely lost on me.
The center of a crossroad is usually quite... You okay there, Miles? He's just looking around.
The Virgin Mary. I must admit, she was the last person I was expecting to see in here.
Well, let's find out more about her then.
I've got a few questions for you, Mrs. Martin.
I'll try to answer them the best I can.
Do you think your son is capable of doing what he stands accused of?
Never. Albert wouldn't harm a fly.
That's what the mothers always say.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell me a bit more about him then?
He started working at the university laboratory a few years ago. I was so proud of him. The university is quite selective, you know. The same for its staff as well as its students.
Yes, I've gotten that impression.
I always told Albert to be careful around those high society types, but that one always thinks with his heart first.
Is she sure that's the correct body part?
He's all the family I have, Mr. Ford.
Bill. Also, Nico, how are you doing? Sorry if it sounds stupid, but it looks like Gabriel Knight. What is this game? This is a game called Lamplight City, and you are not stupid because you are absolutely right. It does look like Gabriel Knight because this is a game inspired by Gabriel Knight in many ways. Especially included like this particular screen. But yeah, it's got some strong Gabriel Knight influence. I mean, you got this sort of dialogue system, and you've got like a map that looks like Gabriel Knight 1, and it's set in like a sort of New Orleans inspired area. It's alternate history, but yeah, and we're investigating some voodoo stuff. So you know, it's very Gabriel Knighty, and I'm having a blast so far.
Do you know anything about Madame Laura Dupre?
I never met her in person, but I know plenty about
A lot of
her.
influence in the Lost
Like
Files of
what?
Sherlock Holmes games as well,
Nothing
yes.
fit for a polite conversation, Mr. Fordham. But I can tell you this. Laura Dupre has far more enemies than she lets on.
I can
Does
gather
that
that.
include you or your son?
It most certainly does not.
I had to get the voodoo stuff out of the way for case one. Ain't nothing wrong with stealing the aesthetic. Aesthetics are always fun to take on because, you know, you evoke a game and then suddenly it's interesting. You get people get, like, interested. I mean, I think kind of when I first saw the game, I was like, oh, this looks like Gabriel Knight. So it got me immediately, like, curious about it. So, yeah. It's not by anyone who worked at Sierra, Nico. The creator is right here. Grundislav in chat is the dev of this game.
What do you know about Juliet, Madame Dupre's daughter?
I know Albert was smitten with her, no matter that I told him to be very careful around her kind. Those rich Creole families don't care much for people like us. To them, we're just a help. But from his telling, Juliet sounded to be a decent soul. It's a shame the same can't be said for her kin.
If you'll indulge my curiosity, what exactly was the meaning of Albert's message?
Saint Roch is the patron saint of dogs, as well as the falsely accused. If he sent the message along with you, it means he trusts you, and that I should too.
Oh, I see.
Perhaps you were hoping for something more? That's just the way of mysteries, isn't it?
How do you mean?
The thrill of the unknown is always more exciting than the truth. Mystery makes life a little more interesting.
True, but if mysteries were really better unsolved, I wouldn't have a job.
The English pronunciation of Saint Roch bugs you a little bit. I mean, I think you're right, but it's like a sort of alternate history America, and America very well known for taking pronunciations and making them their own. So, you know what? I can buy it.
What exactly is it you do, Mrs. Martin?
I provide services to the public.
A delightfully vague answer if there ever was one. Give me something a bit more specific, please.
I'm a Mambo Asugwe. That means I'm what you call a voodoo queen. I'd give you a detailed explanation of the responsibilities and duties of the role, but your time would be better spent clearing my son's name.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Also, a good example of how Americans change pronunciations is there's a city in the UK called Birmingham. America took that name for another place. I can't remember which state it's in. But in America, it's called Birmingham. They really pronounce the ham on it, Birmingham, and it's. But here, where the name actually came from, it's just Birmingham. It's in Alabama. Yeah, that's an example of just names that should sound different, but Americans, they do it their way, and that's just how they do it.
Can you tell me a bit more about your
Sounds
religious
delicious.
practices?
What I can tell you is that the ignorant whites in this city are afraid of us for no reason.
That's fair.
Voodoo is not about black magic or dark spells or turning people into the living dead. It's about healing and life. Naturally, there are misguided souls who may try to use it for ill purposes, but I am not one of those.
Sounds like you hit a sore spot. Might be a good idea to stop pressing her on this angle.
Thank you, Bill. Can I have that tea now? Yeah.
I think I'll take you up on your offer for tea, after all.
All right, Mr. Fordham. You'll have to give me a few minutes to heat up the kettle. I'll be back shortly.
I'm genuinely interested in the tea. Well.
A rather
Yeah, I'm gonna look here then. What's out the... Oh,
amazing.
Wow.
Even more voodoo stuff back there. Why would she keep these particular items hidden from view?
I will just let...
Good question.
Yeah.
They obviously have some importance to her. I'd suggest asking, but I don't know if that's the best idea given how sensitive she seems to be about the subject.
I wasn't doing anything.
The tea should be ready in a few minutes, Mr. Fordham. You can help yourself once it's done.
You're
Thank
very
you.
kind, Mrs. Martin.
Can I ask her about anything else?
I've got a few questions.
I'll try to...
Back room. Oh, I could ask, but... I don't want to pry.
Thank you for your help.
My pleasure.
I don't want to pry. I don't want to get thrown out. So... Did you say there were 5 cases in the game overall then? So is it like an episodic thing, or do they kind of lead on from each other? Or can we wait for the tea, or do we have to like activate like a sort of a trigger for the tea as well? Because I actually want this cup of tea. I'm actually really curious.
Interesting. Those pots.
You never get the
look as though
tea?
they've been wrapped-
Oh my god. So the it's just a mechanic to get her out the room. Fair enough. Oh, yeah. Lots of adventure games have those mechanics, so yeah, I've seen that kind of thing before. Was kind of hoping to get the tea, but all right. I guess we're done here.
Aren't you going to have your tea, Mr. Fordham?
No.
I'm afraid I just remembered something important.
afraid
I need to
not.
look into. Perhaps later.
Suit yourself.
Yeah. You do not want American tea? Yeah, American tea's not so bad. I mean, they've got a lot of like sweet teas, especially in the South. I go to Texas quite a bit, and I don't actually mind the sweet tea. It's not like what I would usually think of when I think of tea, but as its own thing, sweet tea is quite nice. It's like a sugary tea drink. It's nice. And then some of the sort of tea bags they have aren't so bad either. I actually take some home whenever I go over there, simply because you know what? It's not bad. Got some nice teas from H-E-B. Where should we go then? Alright, I'm gonna go to the university to speak to Juliet. Hello.
It's as though we've journeyed to the tropics. I don't know how you can stand to keep that coat on in here.
Yeah, greenhouses have that effect, don't they? I wonder if there's like something you could call that.
Pardon the disturbance, but are you Juliet Montgomery?
I am. And you are?
Miles Fordham. I'm a private investigator looking into the events surrounding your mother's attempted murder.
Ah, of course.
Have you got time to answer some questions?
Yes, that shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, add milk to tea for children to get used to the bitter flavors in it. Yeah, in the UK we just do that kind of casually. I prefer not to sometimes. Well, most of the time. I don't mind a bit of like soy milk with like a strong black tea, just to kind of, you know. I think that's quite nice. But Oatly's good too. But quite often what we have in is soy milk, so Oatly's good. I do agree. Yeah. But I quite often have herbal teas and stuff as a preference. Earl Grey's I quite like. I have a box of Lady Grey in the cupboard, and Lady Grey is quite good as well. And I'm quite a big fan of peppermint teas. Yeah, no milk and herbal. That's a cardinal sin. Absolutely not. You cannot do that.
Do you know anything about the events leading up to your mother's premature interment?
No, it was a complete shock.
What about Rooibos? I
Mother
like
seemed to be
Rooibos, yeah.
Perfectly healthy and full of life.
I haven't had it in a while,
Then,
but I do
without
like
warning,
Rooibos.
she was dead. Or so we thought.
I take it you were glad to be wrong?
What a ridiculous question. Of course I was. What sort of heartless beast would celebrate their mother's death?
Oh, I could name a few. Juliet definitely didn't shed any tears over Madame Dupre, though. That much is obvious.
Miss Montgomery, you don't have to lie to me. I'm not going to assume you tried killing your mother just because you weren't upset by her death.
I felt terrible about it. You have to understand, I didn't want her to be dead.
But you kind of casually wished
I
it.
just felt a sense of relief. Please,
You know,
don't think me a horrible
I get
person,
it. I
Mr.
get
Fordham.
it.
It's just that Mother and I aren't currently on the best of terms.
That's fine. That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Why don't you and your mother get along?
We've never completely seen eye to eye on anything. She always disapproved of anything I did. When I was younger, she used to forbid me from speaking to the servants.
Ow.
I saw no harm in a kind word or smile, but she warned us that if we were too familiar, they would take liberties.
Ooh.
Then when I declared my intentions to pursue academic studies, she really went livid. In her opinion, a university education was tantamount to a chastity belt. What sort of man would want a wife with a head full of useless facts, she'd say.
You know what?
Personally, I've always found intelligence to be quite attractive.
Thank you, Bill.
I assume your mother didn't approve of your involvement with Mr. Martin?
A rather forward question, Mr. Fordham. But you're not mistaken. I'm not sure how she managed to find out about Albert and me, but when she did, she nearly had a conniption.
She sounds like
As
pretty
I'm
terrible.
sure you can understand, the situation at home has been less than perfect in the last few months. I'd really rather not dwell on it.
Yeah, I understand. Okay. Servants.
You mentioned you were friends with the servants.
Yes, that's right. I didn't care that they worked for us. Everyone needs a friend.
Did your mother ever mistreat them?
Mistreat? No, I wouldn't say so. She was always very stern, though, and quite cold. If they ever shirked their duties or misbehaved, they were punished, of course, but nothing out of the ordinary that I ever saw. Most of the servants are my friends, but I'm closest with Amelie, the kitchen maid. Mother wasn't too happy about that. Amelie's been around as long as I can remember. She's like the aunt I
I
never
met
had.
her earlier. I wonder if that maybe opens up a little bit of conversation with her now.
What can you tell me about Albert Martin?
I'm not quite sure where to begin.
Why not start by telling me what your relationship with him was?
We met here at the greenhouse. He was working as an assistant, sweeping and cleaning and fetching things for the students. My focus was on academics, naturally. I wasn't too interested in romance. In fact, I've had to turn away nearly every single one of my classmates. But with Albert, I found myself intrigued. I noticed him stealing glances, lingering just a bit too long after bringing over a book or flask, sweeping the same patch of floor near me over and over again. It wasn't too long before I had him bringing me tools and equipment, regularly.
I see.
As I mentioned, Mother was an absolute terror when she found out.
Do you believe Mr. Martin did what he stands accused of?
I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't seem like him, but Albert can be quite passionate. If the police believe he's to blame, then they must have a reason for it. It wasn't any secret that he hated Mother. Perhaps I should have ended things sooner. It was satisfying to know that Mother was displeased, but I never imagined it would lead to something like this.
Well, it's nice to see she's all heart.
Okay.
So, you study botany. Fascinating subject.
Are you an admirer of plants, Mr. Fordham?
My wife has the green thumb in the household, but I do have a certain appreciation for them.
Plants are amazing things, just like people in many ways.
How do you mean?
Yeah, I
They need
would.
attention and care. Ignore a
True.
plant, and it will wither. Give it too much attention, and it will become sick. Plants have many things to teach us, and I greatly enjoy learning from them.
Okay.
What can you tell me
Tell
about
me
your
about
brother?
your stoner brother.
Andrew, Mama's precious little boy. If you've met him, you pretty much know all you need to. He's had the whole world handed to him on a silver platter.
I got that impression as well.
But he's in for a rude awakening someday. Mother can only provide for him for so long.
He's gonna get decked at some point.
These plants are impressive. Are they yours?
Yes, I've developed a method to make them extra healthy and strong.
What's your method?
They're larger than anything I've ever seen. How do you do it?
Ah, but I can't reveal my secrets, Mr.
Damn.
Fordham. The world will hear about my discoveries soon enough.
Oh, that's nice.
Incidentally, do you know anything about Easter lilies?
That's a good point.
No, I don't keep
Oh.
or grow those here.
No more questions for now.
Then if you don't mind, I have work to do.
No, that's okay. Fair enough.
One of those cute little Japanese trees that are all the rage these days. Personally, I don't see how giving a tree a haircut is meant to be relaxing.
Yeah, you know, people are into different things, Bill.
Those flowers are definitely not native to this area. They seem to be thriving in their glass tubes.
Plant growth stuff in the... Okay. Oh, yeah.
Quite the assortment of plants they keep in here. I
Bonsai.
wonder if they serve any purpose or are just meant to look pretty.
Well, you know, I think quite a lot of plants just look pretty. And that's
I've
fine.
never seen a flower grow that big. What do you suppose they're feeding them?
Stuff, things.
Judging from that pipe, that contraption must be used to keep the plants hydrated.
Handy.
It looks like a giant earwax remover to me.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Kind of does. All right. I guess we're done here for now. So we can go to the 76 Forest Lane, which is the rented room. We need to find a stimulant to bring Andrew out of his stupor, which I believe might be in this area, but I'm not entirely certain of that. And we need a way to get past the guard. Oh, actually, I tell you what, there was something else I wanted to do with the manor. And also, we might have had more dialogue options opened up, so I'm going to head back there.
This quack hasn't gotten anything.
Okay.
This fountain probably looked nicer when there's an angel. This would probably.
Okay.
Her eyes are. If we didn't.
Okay. Because I just remembered we noted down a thing on the piano, didn't we? And we didn't actually try it out. I'm going to give it a go. Oh, yeah. Did we do anything with this as well? Okay. Mm-hmm. Alright, you know what? Nice. Cool. Right, so what do we need? We need... There's a low C, middle C, high C. Okay, let's go for a... That's just a... Okay. I mean, I'm putting it in, but it doesn't seem to be actually doing anything. All right. Oops. Yes. DG, do you know what it is, Nico? Oh my god. I was trying to work out what it was, but I didn't know. Alright, so, wait, no. Is that right? I don't know if it's that. That's not quite right. I definitely think it's D to start with. Yeah, I don't know. A shop. Ooh. Okay, let's try that. This is a good use of time, isn't it? Actually, where is a shop? Oh, it's there. I'm not sure. No. No. Let's not worry about it right now. Let's see if we can talk to the, entity and then the next D. Up 1 octave. Okay. We know her name now.
Pardon me, miss.
I told you I'm very busy, and I'll get in trouble if I'm caught speaking to you.
Amelie, please. I need to know what you know about Madame Dupre.
What? How did you know my name?
Juliet told me about you.
Miss Juliet?
Yes, I spoke to her at the university. She mentioned you two were friends.
Yes, that's right. She's always been so good to me.
Look, Amelie, I'm just trying to get some information. And I have a feeling you can be very helpful if you'd just let me talk to you.
All right, fine. But do it as fast as you can.
All right.
Tell me about Madame Dupre.
Oh, I really shouldn't, sir.
It would greatly help my investigation if you did.
Madame Dupre was kind enough to hire me as her cook.
Okay.
It's hard to get jobs in the city. Lots of people want their servants to use those new machines. My sister's brother-in-law got half his leg blown off by one of those new ovens.
That's a powerful
He's
oven.
Lucky he wasn't killed. So I'm plenty happy working here doing real people's work. But Madam can be difficult sometimes.
Difficult? What do you mean by that?
Racist.
No, I said enough.
I think that's, I think that's pretty clear, Miles. Pick up the subtext, buddy.
What do you know about Madame Dupre's supposed death?
All I can tell you is that whoever did it really hated her.
Do you know Albert Martin, the man accused of the crime?
No, I'm sorry.
What can you tell me about Andrew?
He's a stoner.
He ain't so bad.
All right.
Kinda spoiled, but he mostly cleans up after himself.
Well, that's
Has
not
a
so
whole
bad.
private part of the house, but I think he only uses one room. Better for me, way less to clean.
Okay.
What do you know about Juliet?
She was always so kind to me and the others, but her mother don't like that one bit. Still, she sneaks down into the kitchen to keep me company some nights. Even though she's a good soul, I think part of her does it just to spite her mother.
Are you the only remaining servant here?
No, there's another one, Marcel. He's the new gardener.
I kind of speak to
I haven't
Marcel.
seen him in a few days, though. Not since before Madam's incident.
Oh, curious.
Thank you, Amelie. I appreciate your time.
Ooh.
You're welcome.
I sound like we
Now,
might need to
please,
speak to
let
this
me get back
Marcel
to
then.
work.
Thank you for your time. Oh, that teleporting is slightly confusing sometimes. Can I just go stretch the map, actually? That should be handy. This is the last place we need to go, so let's do that.
Egad! Is
Oh,
this someone's
interesting.
room or a jungle?
Quite a fascinating array of plants in here. Not to mention the machinery on the table.
How curious.
Seems like Juliet is very interested in getting extra credit.
There's something going on here. I'm gonna do a save it. Thank you, Hex, for the host. Plants. Yes.
I wonder what sort of fertilizer or growth tonic these plants are getting. Whatever it is, it's definitely working.
I'll say. What's on the bookshelf?
That's quite the book collection. It almost puts Adelaide's to shame.
All impeccably cataloged and organized as well, which makes the two missing volumes stand out even more.
Which are... Oh, well, we wouldn't be able to find that out, would we? Okay.
Those are the most vibrant flowers we've seen in a while. I bet they smell extra strong.
Yes, they certainly do.
It's a good thing you're the one with the nose. This plant makes Miles Jr. look like a single blade of grass. They appear to be scientific scribblings. I can't make heads nor tails
Well,
on.
I'm no
That makes
scientist.
two of us.
They appear to be scientific.
Okay. Are those flies?
They're just doing what flies do best.
Yep.
I have no idea nor desire to know what purpose that thing has.
Can I push the button? Oh god. What do we do? Oh my. Did we just...
Oh, would you look at that?
Are they like been not killed, but like what's sedated? They've made more docile.
Well, now, this is interesting.
Etheric effects flora. Larger, more vibrant... Oh, etheric effect. Okay, this is larger, more vibrant flowers. Chlorophyll production seemingly triples. Root systems strengthen, increasing capacity to absorb nutrients. Conclusion. Plants thrive from exposure to small etheric currents. Further experiments are needed to determine the long-term effects. Etheric effect on fauna. Brain is clearly affected, inducing a trance-like state. Aha! Muscle control lost. Wings flap in predictable pattern. If animals with greater cognitive ability, including humans, are exposed to specific quantities of ethericity, they will go into a stupor, appearing unresponsive or dead. I think I know what happened to Madame Dupre.
Just a bunch of technical nonsense. I can't understand a word of it.
Well, isn't that interesting? Is there a way we can reverse it, perhaps? We haven't even affected it in any way, have we? Like, what happens if we do it again? Look at that! They're back to normal.
They're just doing what...
Well, isn't that interesting? Also, hey, Emma, how are you doing? Oh, what's up, slut? You know, yeah, I don't mind you calling me a slut. It's fine. Yeah, nice one, Emma. That's definitely what works.
I'm guessing they're probably full of more scientific equipment or plant-related stuff.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. Did we get any... I didn't really get any clues out of that, though. Still, it points us in an interesting direction. I am going to talk to Connie and see if I can cross-reference some ideas with her.
Can we talk?
Go on, I'm listening.
Brightstone broke in according to the letter from whoever was renting the place. Right.
I wanted to go over the case with you.
Yeah, let's
What
discuss this.
What do you know about Madame Dupre?
Only what I've read about her in the paper. She's been married thrice,
Wow.
which I can empathize with, and
Okay.
she's extremely rich, which I can't.
Oh.
What makes you think this Martin fellow is innocent?
The fact that the only evidence is the word of Dupre's son. I've seen this sort of thing thousands of times, and I'm sure you did too. They're just looking for a scapegoat.
I think it's a pretty good
You're
animation
only
system for the
person I
mouse,
know.
actually.
Perhaps you can use that to your advantage?
Ding! Very nice.
Madame Dupre's son isn't being very helpful.
Is he refused?
I'm having a think. If anyone's got any ideas, suggest away, but I'm having a think right now. What can we do? Yeah, so this is clearly addressed towards Albert Martin. That's it. Yeah, I'm curious, but I'm not entirely sure where to take this right now.
Excuse me, officer. I was wondering if you could help me?
What do you want?
I hope he's not
I
racist.
seem to have gotten all turned around. Do you have any idea how to get to the front gate?
My suggestion would be to turn around and head back the way you came.
Yes, I've tried that, but I seem to just be going in